Raiders, the 6th week of competitive trials has arrived, and with 5 brand new challenges to test your skills topside, things might get a little crazy. My name is Kodiak, this is Legacy Gaming, and today we're bringing you our weekly trials breakdown to help you climb those leaderboards for week 6 of season 1. We did it. We finally reached Daredevil rank, secured the number 1 point position in our leaderboards, and are ready to share, after trying many different methods, how to most effectively farm the most points possible this week. As always, our plan is to be here each week to break down the new trials so you can complete them efficiently, grab those 3-star rankings, and do everything solo or with a team. If you haven't engaged with this system yet, we have a fantastic guide already on the channel breaking down both trials and projects, so check that out to get up to speed. In this weekly video series, we'll break down how many kills or task completions you need in order to reach the 4,000 point threshold for a 3-star ranking, which trial challenges are the best ways to farm for high points, and the major pitfalls that can occur if a task is noticeably more challenging. With all trial challenges, you're going to want to complete these on major map conditions, the one that show a clear 2x bonus on their UI element, such as night raids, electromagnetic storm, and even the hidden bunker event on Spaceport. You'll also want to make sure you're loading into a fresh map, so pay attention to that timer at the top of your screen. If you're in at the 30 to 40 minute mark, depending on the map, you'll maximize your time to earn points up until the very end. Getting into a raid halfway through is a complete waste of your time, since you'll miss out on a ton of enemy respawns, challenges that require specific tasks which may have already been completed, leaving you with less time to earn the maximum amount of points. You'll want to push yourself to stay in the round until those very last minutes, extracting only after a bulk majority of the players have left, which is normally safer when solo. That can always change, so play it safe. Remember, you have to successfully extract to retain any points you earn during the raid. With that out of the way, let's jump in to this week's challenges. Damage Hornets pushes you to farm as many points as possible by dealing damage to Hornets throughout a single raid, and it's one of this week's challenges that you can seriously push to the limit. As always with any damage-based challenges, you'll receive full points if you or your team are the only ones dealing damage to the Hornets until you bring it down. A full kill of a Hornet is worth about 760 points, so it only takes 6 kills to reach your 3-star threshold, but there is a catch. If you're taking these down using the traditional method of shooting off 2 engines, point values seem to fluctuate between 360 and 600 points per kill if the Hornet crashes to the ground. We found that shooting the Hornet center mass until it explodes consistently yielded the full point value. This means you're going to want to come prepared with several things. The first thing is a weapon capable of hitting Hornets at long range, such as an Osprey, to aggro them over to your position. The second is a heavy weapon like an anvil and a boatload of heavy ammo. Using this combination of weapons will allow you to cut through Hornets quickly. In terms of where to actually farm Hornets most efficiently, Hidden Bunker on Spaceport is likely your best option. If you want the safest location, head to a trench tower via a zipline, block it off with barricades, and you'll be able to farm a solid 33% of the map in relative safety. For the more daring solos and teams, controlling the launch tower is your best bet, as you are able to render in about 80% of the Spaceport map, allowing you to pull Hornets and Snitches at will, the latter of which can call down even more Hornets. In either case, make sure you fully clear every patrol group in the area. That means the Wasps and Hornets together, because we found killing the entire group will greatly speed up the respawn timers throughout a raid. As a final note, depending on how efficient you are at clearing enemies, you'll chew through weapon durability and ammunition quickly, so make sure you have backups in both departments. Arguably, one of the most difficult trial challenges to complete is Deliver Carryables, because unlike any other challenge, the items you need to interact with are on a limited spawn. That's to say, when you load into a map, what spawns is what's there for the entirety of the raid, and you guessed it, that means players are absolutely willing to kill to secure these. Your head needs to constantly be on a swivel, and you may need to get bloodthirsty even if you're normally a peaceful solo. Each carryable you deliver will net you 1,000 points towards your trial under a major map condition. That means you'll either need to secure 4 field crates and bring them to the respective field depots, or grab something like power cells that you find on the various blue gate puzzles. Our preferred map is Spaceport because it has 5 field depots and a whopping 60 plus potential spawn locations for field crates. That means there are typically 2 to 3 field crates near each field depot, but you can roll a lucky map instance where there are way more. You'll need to run this a few times to get a sense for where these crates like to spawn, or use a handy interactive map online to get a loose sense for their location. Just be critically aware of enemies and the sounds of other players nearby, and know when it's realistically time to get out with the points you have. We recommend bringing in a bunch of adrenaline shots and even utilizing a neat trick where you sprint forward and jump after dropping a field crate while looking back at the pickup prompt and pressing it. Doing so will make the crate zip to you and you can cover more distance much quicker and much safer. Damage Rocketeers, Leapers, or Bastions is a challenge that, despite having high point farm potential, is likely to be one of the hardest to achieve a high point score from due to how hotly contested these enemies will be. Each enemy, regardless if it's a Rocketeer, Leaper, or Bastion, will award roughly 2,200 points per kill, and while you can go after a single enemy type in this list, maximizing your score and time means you should be trying to take down each one of these enemies as soon as possible and as often as possible. While a lot of other people might recommend Hidden Bunker or Spaceport to complete this trial, we have a very different opinion. Dam Battlegrounds during Electromagnetic Storm has consistently resulted in our highest scores. There are 2 locations on this map that grant you vision on 2 Bastions, 3 to 5 Leapers, and all 4 Rocketeers, meaning whether you're solo or in a group, these spots remove the need to move around the map. The first location is the ledge around Control Tower. You can zip up to the base of the tower either with your own zipline or the deployable one that spawns in front of it, and from there, standing on one of the pipe segments, you can deploy another zipline. Anchor this to the ledge above, and you'll be able to hop off this zipline right at the end with your momentum right onto the ledge. Place a barricade here by the drop-down ladder and a couple jolt mines to cover the key room exit, and you'll be able to safely sit up here, hitting enemies across the map. The second location, on top of the pipeline building, is much easier to set up, and while it is more exposed than the control tower ledge, you'll have a smoother time hitting the bastion that spawns directly below you and in the swamp. Leapers and Rocketeers are a bit trickier, but as long as you have an Osprey, you can pull any enemy towards you. Because of your location, it does take Rocketeers and Leapers a hot minute to reach you, meaning weapons like the Jupiter and Renegade really shine at taking down these foes. As a reminder, when using a Jupiter, the beam passes through multiple layers of armor, so if you shoot Rocketeers directly above the eye and Bastions in their hulls, you'll hit these enemies' core, dealing significantly more damage per shot. It takes around 10 Jupiter shots to kill a Rocketeer and around 15 to kill a Bastion, so come prepared with enough energy clip ammo if you're trying this method. Otherwise, you can always use wolf packs and hull crackers. Destroy Pops is an interesting challenge for both solo players and groups, not because it's particularly hard to achieve that 3-star ranking, but because to achieve any sort of competitive high score, you need to endure Stellamontis on the Night Raid modifier. Pops are worth 880 points per kill, and because they die in 1 to 2 shots from nearly any weapon, you can attempt this challenge with a free loadout if you choose. The problem is safely extracting from Stellamontis, especially if you're going for a high score, because the PvP does not stop for trial challenges on this map. The reason this map is so ideal for the challenge isn't actually because every area of the map has numerous pop spawns, it's actually because of how quickly they respawn, which means you really only need to leave a room for a few minutes before the enemies respawn back on the map. You will be competing with other players running from room to room, but we have a solution for that as well. Try and queue up for Stellamontis when there is only 1 to 2 minutes left on the Night Raid timer. Doing so will put you in a map that can't spawn in new players as other players get defeated because there won't be a map to queue into anymore. This means you should really only need to fight through a handful of players or teams, or do your best to avoid them entirely without having to worry about those awfully balanced spawn points catching you off guard. Open arc probes is one of the easiest challenges to rack up points on, but that's all dependent on if you can deal with the hordes of arc enemies that will often show up when you breach the probe. The good news is that you don't actually have to be the first person to open the probe, you just need to interact with one of its containers to get credit. For more casual players, you'll easily get a 3-star rating by jumping into any map with the Prospecting Probes map condition. You'll be able to see where these are coming down from, allowing you to easily move between probes with little downtime. Although you're not going to get 2x points during prospecting probes, each arc probe you interact with will award 667 points towards your overall score, still making it the best way to easily 3-star this trial. For the more hardcore players out there looking to push points, prospecting probes likely won't cut it, and you'll need a major map modifier which makes each probe worth 1,300 points. For this, we suggest any map that has the electromagnetic storm event, because during that event, damaged arc probes will litter the map, which you can easily locate if you keep an eye out for a pillar of black smoke. We personally found Dam Battlegrounds to provide the best opportunity at securing the highest amount of points during this modifier. So there you have it, how to 3-star all trial challenges for week 6 during the first week of December 2025. As always, if you appreciate the work that goes into making these guides, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up, and consider subscribing. We'll have more Arc Raiders content in your feed soon, so keep it right here and never miss a thing. My name is Cody Akin from everyone here at Legacy Gaming. Thanks for watching, and play on.